Well, good morning, everybody. This morning we are in Calaveras County. We are along the Calaveras River at the Monte Vista Day Use area. It's an Army Corps of Engineers area, and it's just down the river from New Hogan Lake, from the dam up at New Hogan Lake. This area is mostly an equestrian trail area. They've got some trails here for hiking and taking your horse. They've got hitches to hitch up your horse. I came out here to see if there was any possibility of any decent fishing, and walked down to take a look at the river, which river in quotes isn't really as much a river as kind of just a stagnant water creek. There's a couple little riffles and things coming in, but down there at the shoreline, at the areas you can get to the shoreline, it is not really for fishing, especially my kind of fishing. I'm looking for trout. There are trout. They plant New Hogan Lake with trout, so there's trout up in the lake, but this spot is free, and we're looking for free spots to fish. Cute little park though. They don't have any picnic benches or anything like that. They've got some nice little trails though around here. They look like they're in pretty decent shape. But this is not the place for fishing for us this morning. So we'll hop back in the van, head up the road, see what we can find around the lake, and maybe go up to the north side of the lake and see if we can find some fishing up there. Well, we've pulled up the road just maybe a quarter mile. I don't even know how far it was, and stopped at this observation point in Cameron Trailhead. And it looks like it provides access down to the lake. There's no fee station or day use fee or anything here, and I've seen a couple people down on the shoreline fishing. So we might be able to get down to the lake and actually fish. Again, like I said, this is a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers facility, this lake. So it may only have fees for camping. I don't think there's any fees for fishing, and it doesn't look like there's any fees for the day use areas. So we'll probably go up around the lake and check out some of the other day use areas and see what kind of access we have to fishing. The sign over here says that you have fishing access from this point. There's another one, Wrinkle Cove, up the way. There's a fish cleaning station there, so I think we might check that out. But let's look around observation point in the Cameron Trail right here. So I walked down this little road, which actually has a little bit of a parking lot right here. A little tiny spot, you could fit maybe 4 cars. And pretty good access to the bank right there. We're just down from the park headquarters. There's a little trail. I think we might run up to the park headquarters and talk to them and get a little bit more information. I did run into a guy who had been out fishing, was coming back up the trail. Said he caught one, but it got away. He said there is no fee here for day use or for fishing. There is a place up around the corner, he said, that they charge a day use fee, but right around the corner from that, there's another free access area to the shore. So we'll take a look down here along this bank. It is pretty wide open. We've gotten down into some trees down here, but if it was a hot day, boy, you'd be baking along this shoreline. But luckily for us, it's a little bit overcast today and cool. It's probably about 65. Feels pretty nice though. But let's head up to the park headquarters and see if we can ask them some questions. All right, well, we came up here to the park headquarters, but they're closed on the weekend, so not going to get any information from them. There are some signs and things, but up here at the observation point, there's some picnic benches and a park and a bunch of signage and stuff, so take a look around. I did see one pay station, but I still don't see any information for fees, so I don't believe there's any fees to be in this area. So let's take a look around at the observation point up here. Well, it's a pretty nice little area up here. There is a little trail that gives you access down to the shore, and like I said, lots of things here, picnic benches and tables, playground. There's a horseshoe pit. I would imagine on a summer day this place would probably get pretty popular. It's pretty quiet here today. There's just like, I think there's a family here hanging out, but yeah, nice little area at the observation point in the park headquarters. Too bad they're closed. So let's head on up the road around the lake and see what we can find. So this is the Wrinkle Cove day use area. Only place I've seen so far that had a fee. When we came in, there was a sign that said there was a $10 day use fee. I saw another sign earlier that said there was a fish cleaning station here, but it looks like that may be gone. There's just a concrete slab here. So I haven't seen a fish cleaning station. There are some bathrooms, and it's pretty peaceful right in here, but we'll move on, see what else there is. I'm not really up to paying $10 just to sit here and try and catch some fish, but it's a pretty area, pretty shallow in here. So this is the Fiddleleneck day use area. When you first come in, there isn't anything about fees, but down near the area where they have the boat ramps, there's signs for fees, $10. I'm not sure if that just applies to boating, because in this area, there's all these little kind of, they're not really campsites because it doesn't look like you could set up a campsite, but it looks like a day use area. They have a barbecue and a picnic bench and some picnic benches without benches or tables that they kind of look like gravestones. There's no fee sign up to this point. It's not till you get down to the boat ramps where there's a fee sign and a pay kiosk. So I'm not really sure if you have to pay if you wanted to come down in here. Certainly down near the boat ramps, you have much easier access to the shore. This is a little bit of a steep incline to get down to the shoreline, but it looks to me like you could come down in here and just park along the side of the road. There's plenty of space for parking along the side of the road. I didn't see a bathroom here, but I do see people down at the shoreline. Alright, so this little pull-up in the Fiddleleneck area is pretty nice. A little small, and right at the moment it's pretty popular. There's a couple of families here setting up camp. They're going to hang out for the day, but they've got some restrooms here. They've got a sign that says no fires or barbecues and pets on a leash, but there's no day use fee sign here, and you're pretty close to the shore. I think we'll walk down there and take a look. Some pretty interesting rock formations around here. These slate rocks that are like all angled coming up out of the ground. It's kind of alien. Well, the shoreline down here is pretty gradual. It's a pretty gradual slope down into the water, so not really my kind of fishing. You probably need a pretty big pole and a lot of weight to get your line out there to any good depth in the water. And I can see some stuff poking up pretty far out there, so don't think this is a spot to fish unless you got a kayak or something. Then you can go out on the water, but it's a pretty nice little day use area, and as far as I can tell there's no fee here, so looks like it'd be pretty good if you want to spend the day hanging out by the water, maybe go in the water a little bit, take a little raft or a boat or a kayak. You could do some fishing out there in that cove. That wouldn't be too bad, but not what we're looking for. So we're gonna head on up past the campgrounds. All right, well, we've gotten past the campgrounds there on the southwest side of the lake. We are out of the lake area on the Lime Creek Road. We're going to head out here to Highway 12 and up around on the north side of the lake and see if we can find that access area to the Calaveras River that goes into the lakeside. Supposedly there's access for fishing up there, and that's the spot we're looking for. See if we can get along the north fork of the Calaveras River and see if we can find somewhere to fish. This has been a good day of exploring New Hogan Lake, which is a really nice place. Army Corps of Engineers, but we're looking for fishing, so let's head up the road. All right, well, they do not make that easy to find. Ripping down Highway 12 with everybody going 60 miles an hour, it's this tiny little turnoff, and the sign isn't until you get down off the highway on this gravel road right here. And it looks like the gravel road just ends. This is a fire road, but it's chained off. But it does say that this is the North Fork Recreation Area. And there is a sign here and an entry through the fence to hike this little path, it looks like, that goes down to a little creek. I'm not sure how far it is to the river. I think it's pretty far because I actually overshot it the first time and crossed the river. We might have better luck just going up to the bridge at the river. There were a couple pullouts up there, and it looked like you had pretty easy access down to the river. But we'll check this out a little bit, walk down in here and see how far it is. There's a nice little creek down here. But yeah, this is the North Fork Recreation Area. No parking lot to speak of. It's just a a gravel road that goes up to this gate.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Well, it certainly is a pretty little walk down in here. This trail's pretty nice. It'd make for a good hike. But I don't see or hear the river anywhere nearby. And it's gotten pretty far away from the van, which I'm not too comfortable with leaving the van there. I did see some broken glass. So maybe we'll go up around the bend and over to that bridge again, see if we can get access to the river there. But this is pretty. It'll be a pretty hike. No fishing though. Not here. Well, we managed to get pulled off on the side of the road by the bridge. But unfortunately, as you can see, there is a lot of private property here and no trespassing signs everywhere, so we can't get down to the river. And that's a real shame because there's a nice, pretty little spot right here where the river is running pretty good right under the bridge. Love to be able to get down there and fish that, but it's all roped off with barbed wire. So there might have been a couple other spots. We'll drive back down the other way and see if there's any access, but I think that's all private property too. But we'll see. We'll drive down the road. Well, that along the road right there, that little stretch is only about a half a mile, but it's all barbed wired off and private property. You can't get down to it. So we're back here at the North Fork recreation area, and I'm going to walk this fire road and see how far it is to the river. According to Google Maps, it's less than half a mile, so it should be just up around the bend. I'm still not super keen on leaving the van there, but we'll just walk up here and see if we can see how far away the river is. All right, well, sure enough, it's just a short walk. It's super short. Just around that bend, there's kind of a levee here with a service road kind of on it. But yeah, a couple paths right here. You can get right down to the riverbank. Problem being that, yeah, I gotta leave the van up there on that road, on that fire access road, and it's totally out of sight, out of distance of hearing, because you got to come around this bend and then go down the embankment. That makes me a little bit nervous, but this looks like the only spot to be able to get access to the river. On this side, it looks like there used to be an old bridge here, and on that side it looks like it's private property. It's all barbed wired, but on this side it's open. There's some walkways down to the shore. So this must be where the new Hogan Lake Park, the Army Corps of Engineers Park, starts. At this little area of the river before it gets into the lake. So maybe we'll walk over here and take another look. I really wish that fire road were open and we could just drive over here, because this would be a great spot. Hidden back in here, man. So actually I came down this levee road that goes along the river on this side. And from up here on this levee, where that little creek that we checked out before runs through here into the river, I can actually see the van. And then the river's right there down on the other side of the embankment, so that might be all right. I think that trail we were on comes up right here. So I'll check that out and see if we can walk the trail back over to the van and get the gear, because this might be the spot. Pull off. I'm surprised there aren't a bunch of people pulled off there and out here fishing. But let's see how the access is down to the river. All right, well, came up that little path that went along that creek, and along that came up to that levee road, and right on the other side of the levee road was a little path that came down to the riverbank. And so I've been hiking along the riverbank here, stopping here and there and trying out a couple of different places, some little holes and stuff. It was sunny a while ago, but it's gotten a little overcast, so now the visibility is not very good. Earlier though, I was looking down in the river and I didn't see any fish in any of those holes. Ideal places for fish to be if they were looking to feed. And I didn't see anything, but stopped at this little open area where the main river kind of eddies back into this little estuary kind of. It's not really an estuary, but it's like it's a little branch that goes back the other direction. And there's a pretty big hole here. So we'll try this out. I can't see down in there to see if there's any fish, but I haven't seen any. Haven't gotten any bites on anything I've been doing. I've just been throwing a lure in there. So we'll throw a lure in here, drag it through the rocks, see if we get any action, see if there's any fish. But then there's a nice little stretch up here where this rocky area is, where there's some nice riffles and it kind of widens out. I think this might actually be the start of the lake. And so we'll walk up here a little bit more, hike over some of these rocks, because I don't think I can get back up there. See how far we can go and fish this section of the river. Well, there's something down in that little hole. I got hit twice, felt him hit it, tried to set the hook and hold it right out, but been trying a couple more times, he's not going for it. So there's a fish down in there. I don't know how big or how small or what kind or anything, but there are some fish in here. So we'll wander up a little bit and try another spot. See if maybe these riffles right here along the edge, that looks like a really good spot for fish to be hanging out looking for food. All right, well, I like this spot. This is a nice spot. River really widens out, but cast a few times here. Did the fan cast across the river and didn't get anything. I'd like to drift some bait down through here, but it's actually starting to sprinkle on me. And I don't want to get stuck in the rain, because if it rains back there where the van is parked, I'm not going to be able to get the van out of there. So I think we're just going to go up around this ridge, see if we can get over this rock, over to that other area down there. See if we can get anything, and that may be it. All right, well, although it is extremely peaceful and beautiful out here, and I've enjoyed trekking along the shore of this river, up here, haven't had any action with fishing, no bites or anything down in here, which really surprises me. This looks like a great spot for fish. But it is sprinkling pretty good, so I think I'm gonna head out of here. And I think I'm gonna have to go back the way I came, because this ascent looks too daunting. I might, we'll see. I'll go up this little ridge and see if we can get up to the top, but it's pretty steep right here. May have to go back the way we came. All right, well, we got back to the van. Van is fine, nothing happened. So pretty good little hike, but I was an idiot and attempted to climb up that rock face. And even though I made it, it was tough going. About 3/4 of the way up, I ran out of footholds and had to just grab onto vegetation and actually get down on my belly and kind of army crawl up the last little incline, which, I mean, it was probably 45 degrees, but it felt like it was like 60. Thought I was going to slide down at any minute, but made it up over the ridge onto that fire road and the levee, and then just took that little path back along the creek. Pretty short little hike. Nice. It's a nice area. I probably would come back here, but I would not try and climb that rock face again. If you decide to come down here and park in this little North Fork recreation area parking and take the path, you can go through the barbed wire and either take that fire road, or you can do the little path that goes down along the creek. And I mean, not that far down, you get, I think, pretty much to where the lake starts, because the river kind of stops flowing and it backs in and gets real mild. And I think right in there in springtime, the fishing would be really good. But we gotta head out of here. Gotta get home and get cleaned up. But thanks for coming along with me today. If you like this kind of stuff that I'm doing, let me know. If you like seeing these local spots that are in the Sierra foothills, subscribe, give this video a like, and thanks for watching.